Doodle Dungeon is a fun game in which you have to get creative, making your dungeon as hero-proof as possible. You've bought yourself a dark cave at a bargain price so that you can finally fulfill your dream of having your own dungeon. But when you inspect your property for the first time, you quickly discover the reason for the low price. It's completely empty. So you hurry to the Dungeon Builders Market and Monster Tavern to make sure your dungeon is ready before hero season begins. In the first phase of the game, you build your dungeon. Each round you will choose a card from the center and then draw the building element you've chosen, such as traps and monsters, into your dungeon. You can draw them freehand or get help from one of the handy templates that comes with the game. Then you place the card in your personal deck for later. Once this phase is over, your map will be full of goblins, orcs, and dragons to stop the hero. But it won't show where your treasure is, because when you take a treasure card, you don't draw them in your dungeon, you hide them, of course. You make a note of the coordinates of where you've hidden it. However, you have to protect your hidden treasure with a monster, so the other players will have a rough idea of where it could be. In phase 2, you pass your dungeon plan clockwise to the next player, and it's up to them to decide the hero's path through your dungeon. They must draw a single continuous line from the start to the finish. And then it's time for you to defend your dungeon. In phase 3, the maps are returned to their owners, and you take your hero figure and place them at the entrance to your dungeon. Then in turn order, you move the hero along its path until they reach a monster or a trap. You deal with the encounter, hopefully dealing damage to the hero so that they won't survive your dungeon. For a dungeon master like yourself, the only good hero is a dead hero. To fight the hero with monsters, you roll the dice and add up their strength to see if you win the fight. In this phase, you will reuse the dungeon cards you collected in phase 1, giving you a hand of cards to use against your hero, such as supporting your monster in attack. Or you can use them to help the heroes in the other players' dungeons to increase the chances of those heroes surviving and getting your rivals less points. Once all the heroes have finished their adventure, whether they're alive or dead, the scoring takes place. The less the hero has destroyed your dungeon, the better. You receive points for unplundered treasures and monsters that are still alive. If you manage to kill the hero, you get 5 extra points. But if they escape alive, you will lose points, depending on how much health they have left. Doodle Dungeon is a fun anti-dungeon crawler with illustrations by John Kovalik that is perfect for fans of Munchkin or Boss Monster. It is suitable for ages 10 and up and plays 2 to 4 players in 45 to 60 minutes.